Hello, once again, everybody. It is your host and analyst today. My name is JoJo, and we're back with you with more Overwatch this week. It is officially week 6 of the PEC Power Esports Conference tournament, but week 7 of USC. So I know some of you guys are studying for midterms, but for those tuning in, thank you so much for taking your time to support your players here at USC. Today's going to be a good game. We're going to be going against Oklahoma Sooners, and we are going to be bouncing back from a hard-fought loss against the Boise State Broncos last week. That match finished 3-0 in favor of Boise State, and it's looking like the USC is trying to get back into the swing of things here today. Uh, Actually, we seem to be running a little bit late. It seems like the USC team has already done some bans and picked maps, so I'll run that over real quick. It seems like USC is banning Malga and Oklahoma is banning Farah, and it looks like we're going to be playing Busan as well. But before we go into that real quick, of course, as an analyst, I have to give you the goods. Here are the keys to success for USC this map. Okay. Number 1, bait tank cooldowns. I saw this last game where you were just committing too much and the tank had too much to stand because they had their cooldowns up. Number 2, protect ban Genji. I'm pretty sure Love WW is playing today, and we need him to be playing Genji, so ban DPS so they don't ban Genji. And number 3, time your swings and peaks. So in order to not take as much poke as possible, just hide behind a corner and then count down 3, 2, 1, swing, and try and focus the tank is what I'm going to say for that. So once again, Busan is the map that we're going to be getting started on. USC bans Malga, Oklahoma bans Farah, and that to me seems like we're going to be looking for some dive maybe, some Lucio, some Kiri action, and that's going to be really fun. One last thing, we're still not playing with perks this week for those that are interested in that. We're playing basically on the last patch, but we'll see about updates with patches maybe later in the future. But for now, the map is about to get started underway. I'm going to swing it over to our casters.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank you, JoJo, as our signature analyst for Overwatch. Really looking forward to the games that we're going to see today. Really tough loss last week against Boise State. We know they're a really strong team. I believe that the teams today will be a little bit more, we'll have a little bit more of a closer match. And yeah, my name is Ezzy. I'm going to be your host today. Here we have Shinshin. Say hi.
How you doing? Returning
And
back to the casting desk.
yeah, welcome back. We haven't seen you this semester yet.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been observing though. I've been here. No worries.
Oh yeah, that's my goat right there. Observers, shout out to our observers, really. Production team, backbone of our streams. But yeah, how have you been doing with Overwatch? Have you played with the perks yet? I haven't seen you online.
Ha! I have been doing a little bit. Me and my friends got back to it after a while. We're really involved, at least recently, because of the loot boxes. It's been a while since we've been able to do some legal gambling, so that's what kind of brought us back. It's been a lot of fun with the perks. I do enjoy kind of how it allows you to play different playstyles with characters. Yeah, I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to see
I'm
whether or
excited
not.
to see. I believe next week we are in conversation about that. But yeah, we're going into Tucson against Oklahoma. We have our signature lineup right here for USC. No interesting team comp so far. Just our tried and true teams, and it's going to be interesting because we're playing into a slightly different team comp with that Torb Ram. So it looks like they might be anticipating some kind of a dive with the defensive capabilities of Torb Ram. But yeah, USC moves over to this right side, taking some really good space right here. But Troll gets taken out immediately while USC is
Ooh.
still very healthy, so they're going to be pushing up all the way up to that door, pressuring Oklahoma all the way back into their spawn. Maybe they're good for another pick, but it's a bit tight out of Oklahoma if they can get a pick on Love, but looks like they're not able to. And he might get taken out, so that is not an ideal trade here. Oklahoma's going to be able to respawn quicker and walk out and contest this point on this high ground.
Yeah, we did see Troll overextend just a little bit and getting caught out. I do want to highlight in this Tor picks definitely in order to counter Love WW here. Notably, our Genji player very strong when he's able to do what he can. But if he's poked out by Jiva, then it looks like Oklahoma is gonna. That is one of their win conditions.
Yeah, so USC does flip the point just because of that early pick onto Love. They're able to take up a lot of space. No ultimates online just yet. Adele is building his rush much faster than NCal, but he does get really low. He's not going to be able to push out too fast. Love gets taken out first again. That is really not where you want to be when ultimates start coming online. Oklahoma's 2 to USC's 1 or 2 maybe, but yeah, we're going into ultimate fight territory. They're going to have to wait for Love to come back and regroup with his team. They're not going to be able to do much without him just yet, but yeah, we see Oklahoma holding this choke point, and it looks like UC wants to fight for it. They're doing, the rush comes out really early, but Troll walking all the way into their back line, pressuring out Adele, so they're going to have to back out and use a couple of really big cooldowns. Terra Surge comes out, is able to find one, but Karma gets traded out, so that just leaves USC to be pushed all the way back into spawn. They do get the trade onto Revan, so it's not necessarily, if they can get another trade here onto Troll, it looks like they're actually going to be able to move really far out. Jaiva's ult comes out, but it's a little bit too late, and USC is going to be flipping the point here. Jaiva looking to stall just a little bit, but no, USC takes really well, even with those early picks onto their team. And Karma comes back, healthy as ever. They used, I believe, 3 to Oklahoma's 2 to 3 ults, and still a pretty decent, pretty even ult economy here. But yeah, Sweetbread has that beat up, and they're gonna know that. So Love actually swaps to the Torbjorn, a little bit more survivability. Their team is going to be really hard for them to push into. Form comes out, and he gets immediately pushed into the back line. Right here, Karma gets a pick on NCal. The beat comes out, but it's not enough to save NCal. They're trading Love for Ace and Troll. Elsie's good for 2 with that overclock. He's looking for a third, looking for a last one, sending him all the way back to spawn, even though he's already right there. UC holds on for one more fight.
Yeah, and that was the second team fight of this map. Notably, USC winning both of them. Oklahoma getting early picks on. That's how they're able to get their advantage. But without those early picks, Love Vital in on this tour being able to survive longer, it looks like Oklahoma just doesn't have the confidence to push through.
Right, and they're going to be moving over to the side. They do have this Annihilation up on Troll, so maybe if they can make something happen. It comes out, he might be good for 1 maybe, but no, they just get picked out. So they do get that trade for Love for Karma, but UC's already at 99. We are in overtime. Revan almost falling off the mat, getting chased all the way back into UC's backline, and he's able to get 1 pick, but it's already too late. USC takes the first point, 100% to 53. Tell me a little bit about that. That was looking actually really fun for us to watch.
Okay, wait. First of all, I do want to highlight, it looks like perks are in the map. I did see Troll using the Ram Shotgun perk, I believe. Something to keep a look at. But yeah, that was just an interesting set of fights coming in from Oklahoma. It looks like they were trying to push in through, but without kind of defensive ultimates or potentially a rush coming in from NCal. They weren't able to break in through that choke point. In on the rotation, they were fast enough in order to get it, but Troll just getting caught out in that Kitsune rush from Adel meant that he was burned down completely. And just popping up the Annihilation in order to survive, he wasn't able to get too much value coming this. NCal gets an early pick.
Right, so that headshot potential from the Curie, yeah, we already see USC doing a really solid kite all the way back to this further corner because they're down a player right now. LC playing that Sojourn is going to be really, really important for holding these really long sight lines, especially on that right side. So USC starts to make a rotation towards the point to pressure point a little bit, force Oklahoma to push into them. And yeah, I don't know if the rest of his team is really with him right now, but they're keeping him up, they're keeping him alive. He's holding off Troll from taking too much space on this point. Oklahoma set up on that right side as USC continues to push for a little bit more space as they move in right here. LC's back, Love gets 1 pick already, that's a wonderful thing, but they get traded out immediately. And Ace goes down as well. USC is in a very bad position here. They're going to need to kite. Using that Arisa shield. Welcome back, Overwatch 1. LC gets taken out on the way back, but it looks like the rest of their team is going to be able to survive. That is a rock hammer right there. That is a Torb with a rock on a stick. I didn't know that was a thing. But
Unga
yeah,
bunga
as we
caveman
see,
style.
right here, the ultimates are starting to come online, and that's going to be really important for USC to be able to use effectively to hopefully push out onto this point. Looks like they're thinking of going on the left side. Rush comes out, placing a lot of pressure. Oklahoma is rushing to counter that, and USC has to back up just a little bit, but it looks like they're going to be able to hopefully get a pick at this point. No, Ace goes down. Terra Surge not able to find anything. Jaeva's ult goes down onto the point, just taking this disgusting off angle and poking out Adele so that he has to TP away. Love is able to get one, but I believe that USC is already down in players at this point. They're holding some really tight angles. They're not really able to find too much as Oklahoma has this very solid hold on point. Karma getting a little bit singled out here um, as they continue to get pushed past. Yeah, and that was just really great timing for NCal's ult compared to Addle's. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, Jaifa holding in this, it looks like they're going to finally try to flush him out, but I don't think they're able to. Elsie gets picked off as well. Here we go, Ace trying to get in some kills, but Revan coming up with these picks here, throwing out the disruptor shot into the backline here. Is now just up to Love in on this. Can he get out or will he be staggered? It looks like he's going to be able to get out. Karma as well retreating, but I do want to talk about these positioning. We do have the kind of classic 3-2 positioning, except we have uh, Oklahoma with Troll and Cal and Sweetbread in on point, able to be mobile and pounce onto USC with Revan and Jiva just able to hold that side room so heavily and just fortify in there. It's going to be hard for
the
USC to
beat
break it.
annihilation comes out and immediately takes out Elsie through that overclock, and we actually see a little bit of the Torb survivability right there. He survived way too long to consider what was going on, but USC is just going to be taken out in a clean 100% to 0% for Oklahoma on the second point. But yeah, I think it was just a positioning gap for this point, to be honest. Um, and USC, you know, that Torbjorn for Oklahoma side just taking some like really disgusting off angles, like being able to poke out in pressure, getting that TP out from the Kiri, making her really vulnerable, and just kind of putting them out of position. So Oklahoma was doing a wonderful job on that point of really holding that space that they got and keeping these long sightlines open for their Sojourn to put a lot of pressure on the enemy team. So USC is going to be doing a little bit of a comp swap. We're going to be seeing a double hit scan out of Love and Elsie, which is I don't like that at all, actually. I guess it could work on a map like this one, on a point like this one, but I don't love it. Don't normally want to have 2 hit scans on one team, but we'll see how USC makes it work. Karma pulling up to this left side to contest this area, a wonderful anti, get a little bit of ult charge for Adol. But yeah, they get pressured out, and Karma trying to die for this Torb, but again, that Torb does so much damage and has way too much shields for Karma to be able to really find anything. The rest of USC do manage to are probably going to manage to cap here, but with 2 down already, I don't think they're going to be able to hold it for very long. They're able to get a few percentage, but Oklahoma with the superior positioning and man advantage, they're just going to be taking the first few percentages. We see an interesting comp swap, the Adel on Ana with Lucio. Now this is really aggressive. There's not going to be a lot of peel for that Ana, not a lot of protection, as long as she maintains really great positioning to get these really fat nades and keep her team alive. That's going to enable this Lucio to be able to walk in really quickly. Now Elsie getting caught out with a lot of different angles, sliding back. Now USC is really having difficulty, again, same thing like last point, having difficulty holding these really long sight lines and holding space together. They're pushing out, but it's not looking too coordinated as we move on to this next fight, as we get closer to ultimates.
Yeah, they have to pick which sightline they want to be shot from, whether or not it's Jiva with those rivet shots from all the way across the map, or Revan holding an off angle here towards it. But I do want to talk about this composition swap from USC. Notably, they do lose the perks that they're able to grow off, but the perks are able to be received back faster the later the game goes, if you didn't know already. Alright, here we go. Karma pushing in.
Another big nade by Adol. Not much he can do. USC was able to turn the tide as we see Karma hopping onto the Ram to kind of counter the enemy Ram. So we have a very similar team comp, but it's interesting to see the difference between um, what the flex supports are playing right now. The Torb versus the Ashe. Now I think that now that USC is off of the Diva, that Ashe is going to be really strong and powerful as long as they play this correctly. Karma, again, getting pressured out. This Revan just taking some really aggressive off angles to create so much space for his team. The OC comes out. LC not able to find anything really, holding on to the space for a little bit longer. But again, there's just not much we can do. Um, as Karma gets a little bit low on this side, he's still trying to pressure out Troll and kind of contest his positioning over here, but there's not too much sightlines for him. Elsie does get a pick on Sweetbread. That is going to be their beat. So that's one ultimate that's going to be out of the point if they can get Troll here with that annihilation without dying. Troll goes down, and Oklahoma's going to be pressured all the way back into spawn, maybe able to escape with their lives, but we don't know if Karma's able to get a big slow. Not not too much, and USC Oklahoma, they are now about even in ultimates for this next fight.
Yeah, investing in that annihilation, perhaps a panic ult coming in from Troll just to try to keep himself alive. I don't like that coming as they come in on this side.
They're walking towards this coast area, which is a really good adaptation, just because they want to be able to take a new angle instead of main. But this annihilation from Karma, including that speed, the beat, the really aggressive beat from Ace. Karma's good for 2, and the rest of his team is able to clean up. Just wow, a really fast engage with that Lucio, and that just really shows the superiority of a decent Lucio you have on your team. USC is going to be taking map 1 2-1. Right, some really great plays out of both teams, but yeah, this final push with Annihilation, just really aggressive push to stop them from touching point, absolutely beautiful. He knows that Troll is already low, he knows that the rest of his team is right back there already low, and his Annihilation able to do so much tick damage, including that punch, with a Lucio beat and speed right behind him, absolutely disgusting. Of course he's going to walk them down right there. Really great map out of our team USC as well as Oklahoma, and sorry, we will be taking it out to our analyst Jojo.
Yep, as Ezzy and Shinchin were saying, that was a great map from USC. Uh, I have a couple notes though. Like we were seeing in the second map, it did seem like USC was struggling there. They eventually lost that second map on Busan Garden, and the reason that is because Torbjorn, which is something that both teams have opted to be playing this map, Torbjorn's just so effective at holding open angles, right? So with that gong in the middle of the map, there might be some cover, but if you think about the map geometry, it's just a huge open space there in the middle. And Torbjorn, if he just puts turret all the way in the back somewhere like, yeah, it doesn't really matter, out of sight, out of poke range, then that's basically like playing with a six person on the field. And in Overwatch 2, without a second tank to deal with that turret, it's a lot more difficult for teams to really traverse areas that are guarded by the Torbjorn. So what they need to be doing this next map, if they want to keep it up, and we saw that USC was having a ton of success by matching the Torbjorn by playing really close together. The closer you play, the less range that Torb turret has, and that's going to really open up abilities for USC to just, as we saw in the third map. Sure, they were playing the double hit scan, but they had someone there to mark the choke. While LC, for example, was pushed up further and just shooting down main. So it's gonna be whoever holds choke better is likely what we're gonna be seeing for the rest of this series. But absolutely great job by USC there. Bans are for next map are already underway. It seems like we're going into Blizzard World for the second map. This is once again a map that sure you can run the brawl on, but I want to see more dive actually. We saw Blizzard World last series against Boise, and one thing that USC found difficult was trying to take fights onto high ground. The best way you could do that is, well, you could play the Brawl and coordinate something onto high ground, or you can just have mobile characters like the Genji or the Hazard try and leap up onto the high ground and take it away from the enemy team. Um, Oklahoma is also opting to ban Lucio there, and it seems like we do have a swap for the tank position, I believe. Fuzi coming in for Troll. I personally thought Troll did a great job on the Ramatra. Unfortunately, he did, or they did, get forced out pretty early with the Ramatra Nemesis form, and that is what allowed USC to capitalize on it. So maybe Fuzi brings a different hero pool to the table that might indicate what kind of comps they're going to be bringing into this map. Once again, I do think that Blizzard World is oriented towards dive, but as I say that, USC is going to ban Monkey here. So, just to reiterate, it looks yeah, USC is banning Monkey and Oklahoma is banning Lucio, which is super interesting because without a Lucio, that's dive, but without Monkey, that's not dive. So I'm gonna be really excited to see what kind of comps they're gonna run this map in Blizzard World, and we're gonna be jumping straight into the action. I'm gonna turn it over to our casters now.
Thank you so much, Jojo. And yeah, we're gonna be moving into Blizzard World. We got our bands out here. Tell me what you think about that Shin. Oh, sorry, one more thing. So we did mention that perks were banned earlier. That is not the case. We are playing with bans, like Shin mentioned earlier on in the match. So we are playing with bans. And yeah, so tell me a little bit about what we saw last map, what you liked, what you didn't like.
USC's positioning, at least in the first and third maps, have been pretty good. They're able to hold down the choke pretty well. Oklahoma, though, not to be outdone, a beautiful masterclass in that 100 to 2 points in the second map. Very strong. So we do see the perks that are normally used coming in. We see the Torbjorn with this level 3 turret every time he clicks overload, which is crazy. Dude, I haven't seen level 3 Torb turret since like Overwatch, or I guess Overwatch Classic, but like original Overwatch, that was pretty good. The Ramatra shotgun shot, just giving him that kind of extra damage, at least in close range, especially when you don't have to force out the his Nemesis form. Very strong utility coming in. We did see Ace, and I believe it was either NCal, oh no, it was Sweetbread. With the Lucio, they had the, which perks did I remember seeing in the bottom right corner? Alright, anyways, that's the place to look for them. Here we go in the compositions. We do have the Divas for both sides. LC sticking on to the Sojourn Love with the Tracer instead of the potential Genji Ace with the Brigitte, and Adel with the Ana. Uh, and then Oklahoma, we have Jivo again with the Torbjorn Revan with the Ash here coming in, and Cal and Sweetbread to match Ana and Brig.
Right, so Fusi got swapped in for Troll as tank, and it'll be interesting to see how a new tank plays. It might swap up the game, it might not, we'll see. Again, with that Lucio ban, both teams are going to be matching for a very standard dive composition with Lucio and Monkey ban. They're going to be moving into this pretty predictable team comp right here. Again, like Jojo mentioned earlier, this is a fairly dive-oriented map. Oh, Elsie gets an early pick onto Revan, and that's going to slow down Oklahoma's push immensely. They're not going to be able to do much. They're moving on to this high ground, but at this point, they're kind of stuck. Love going for a sneaky little pick, seeing if he can keep that guy stuck in the spawn room, and he's able to make it. He gets that. So Revan just being a little bit of a spawn hold right here. Love doing a bit of a tracer gap. But yeah, USC just kind of holding on to the space. Oklahoma did manage to pressure out that high ground, but they're not going to be able to do much with it. As all of them are pretty much stuck in there. They're kind of scared of LC's long sight lines. They want to avoid that. Looks like they're going to opt for a full rotation to flip the entire map over and start to pressure out their backline with Jaiva. Karma getting really low here on point. He's going to need to maneuver a little bit as his Ana gets back into the position where she can be able to heal them. Jaiva, again, still pressuring out this backline with his Brig. Revan manages to get that revenge onto Love and gets the pick, but Ace gets the trade out, and Jaiva stuck here with his Brig. And they're going to be pressured all the way out with no ticks, no progress on the first point.
Yeah, not a lot of fighting coming in the second round. It's all the way down to 2 minutes, starting in from 4. USC just making this position game super costly for Oklahoma as they have to orient themselves in the place to get them out of that backside high ground on point. Lakutao does fall low. But yeah, it looks like Jiva can't do as much poke damage as Elsie on this Sojourn, shooting up onto the high ground. Huge
Ooh.
Bionade though.
Pick onto Ace is going to is not going to be ideal because he's not going to be able to build that rally as fast as Sweetbread is, but it looks like both teams are getting really aggressive. Love gets the pick on Jaiva. The Nano comes out from NCal, but Adele gets traded out for it, and now it's becoming a little bit of a bloodbath. USC doesn't have any ultimates online to be able to pressure out Oklahoma's two almost three ults that they have, and they're going to most likely be able to pressure out, but USC doing a wonderful job of continuing to pressure Oklahoma if they're able to get this pick. Elsie's good for 2 with the OC. Managed to build it just in time to be able to trade out, and USC holds on. 0 progress left on the clock. 1 minute 10 seconds on Oklahoma. We see a little bit of a swap. Revan going away from the Tracer and moving to this Cassidy. Now that's going to be really good against in the 1v1 against Love, but I believe if he's the GOAT, he should be able to manage through, right? It's not going to be a really awful hard counter. USC, we're down to 50 seconds left on the clock, no progress. Oklahoma is still stuck fighting on this staircase inside. They haven't been able to push out of this section. Jaiva going for another flank to try and pressure out, but he's not able to find anything just yet. USC is starting to build ults. The rally comes out. Another fat nade from Adele. Both rallies come out to try and sustain their teams, and it's only a and we'll just see what happens over here as LC trades out for Jaiva, and Love gets taken out as well. So it's still an even game, right? Another big fat nade out of Adele. Ace gets dangerously low. I wonder if he's going to be able to survive. He's going to be able to survive. Oklahoma has 10 seconds. I don't think they have anyone. They don't have a Lucio to swamp. They might go ball. They're going to Doomfist to see if they can touch if he gets his combo right. But as long as the rest of USC holds up this really aggressive front angle, Oklahoma is going to be finishing this first half with 0 percentage. This is a full hold from USC. This is beautiful to watch.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's one of the best parts about one of the strongest parts about USC's gameplay here is that they're forcing Oklahoma to take in those fights and keep them very expensive. There was only 3 team fights in on this map, and most of the time was spent basically with, I believe it was Revan coming off of respawn off of dueling Love. But once they were able to get those early picks, they still weren't able to aggress onto USC's high ground. So we'll see how Oklahoma is going to hold here. But you were talking about how large those nades were. We do want to highlight that the perk for Ana is the ability to bounce those nades and giving a second chance for those to get more people. It's an insane perk that I do not know how they allowed into this game.
Right. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of awful. But I mean, as an Ana player, absolutely love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that Oklahoma spent so much time with their team comp stuck in that room, right, with that stairs. Especially once Adel got that perk for the double bounce. Even without it, that is such an easy nade to just toss in there, so that your Diva and Tracer can engage and just do basically whatever the hell that they want to do. We see a bit of a swap. Love going onto his signature Genji. Oklahoma going on the Ashe, preferring for the poke damage to be able to play a little more defensively here. But already USC is doing a better job than Oklahoma did, pushing out onto this high ground without getting stuck in that room. Karma taking a little bit of poke. That wall is not doing really enough to be able to help them. Elsie and Love go down really early on in the fight, and at that point, Revan is good for 2. I don't know if that was 2 or 3, but either way, just Karma taking way too much poke damage. That statue was not enough natural cover to sustain him as his Ana is getting pressured out by the long range. But yeah, that engage on the high ground already, I like it a lot more than what I saw from Oklahoma pushing up those stairs. And that's what you're able to do with that Genji, right? But it looks like they're going to be swapping back to his Tracer, just a lot more mobility and has a lot more room to work where they want to work. And take some more aggressive angles to be able to pressure out that Ashe most likely. USC pushing up to this left side. LC getting a little bit low, but hopefully Zon is able to sustain him up here. Ooh, a nice pick. Sorry, not a nice pick. A nice rail shot to pressure out Oklahoma's NCal as Love engages to try and get a pick right here. Not sure if he's able to find anything, but he does get a couple of cooldowns out as long as he's able to survive and make it back to his team. USC already taking a lot of space. They are setting up for some really great engages right here. Moving into this room, LC in a bit of an interesting spot without any of his supports gets taken out. Love trades for Jaiva, and at this point, it's just whoever gets the next trade or whoever gets the first ult. And it looks like Love is going to be going down. So, right, you see down to 2 minutes left on the clock as ultimates start coming online. That nano boost comes out onto the D.Va to try and get a pick, but the amazing peel from Fusi is going to keep her alive and in the game. Karma does have bomb. Oklahoma has 4, almost 5 ultimates, so USC needs to get a pick right here to even this playing field. They're down in nano, and they need to get a pick here.
Oh.
And it looks, never mind.
Oh.
5 ultimates. 5 ultimates means nothing, I guess. Never mind. Just, is that a C9? Is that?
He was.
I think we can call that a C9. I think, yeah, that was a winnable fight for Oklahoma. They should have been able to win with 5 ultimates. I believe we can call that a C9. Either way, just I guess the raw aura of our team was just too much for them to handle, and they get pushed off, especially with that rally at the end, making sure that they can absolutely not touch the point again. And yeah, that's going to be the second map. This is best of 5, so hopefully we only see one more map, and we'll take it out to JoJo.
Yeah. Some word coming in if that was a C9 or not. I would say that was a C9. It was definitely winnable. I mean, the ult economy was absolutely in favor of Oklahoma there, but it was just really unfortunate. I don't know what it is about Blizzard World. I feel like teams, when they play this map, they just hate playing the objective, because we saw last match against Boise State where USC also kind of lost the map because they couldn't touch. So that was really interesting. But honestly, the reason why this map went the way it did is because we just had like such stellar performances from both Adele and Elsie. I mean, I'm sure Oklahoma might have been saying 4-letter words, but they probably were also saying kill Adele and kill Elsie a lot of that fight. Elsie just holding it down main with that Sojourn pick, seeming like a very signature pick on their behalf. And Adele, we've seen Adele's on it before. Adele hits some nasty nades there. One thing about Oklahoma, though, is that they were just really slow to take space in general. I mean, you saw that first attack with ultimately resulting in 0%. They were just stuck on that high ground, stuck in the right side because they were just too scared. I mean, Elsie's aura was like permeating through the map. They couldn't even move, but they needed to still kind of take some space. The composition they were running with that Torbjorn and with that Cassidy definitely didn't do them any favors, because Torbjorn is pretty awful at trying to take space. He's great at maintaining space, but you need to really rely on coordinated dives and peaks with your Cassidy and D.Va in order to claim more of the map. And with USC running that Tracer and that Sojourn, they were able to do that beautifully. You could see it in the first map where they were just literally taking any part of first point that they could. We saw D.Va on the left side, Sojourn on the right side, high ground, and I mean, it was beautiful. They were able to collapse onto point and just get onto the objective from every angle imaginable. USC banning Torb this next map. It looks like Jaiva might have to reconsider what kind of DPS they're playing, because they are sticking to that Torb pick for both of the maps. And we also see Oklahoma banning Orisa. Interesting that we haven't seen a support ban yet. Actually, no, sorry. We did see a Lucio ban last map. But no Orisa, no Torb. Definitely seems like we're going for more of an all-in kind of comp. We don't really care about holding space. We want to play Hazard. We want to play Ramatra even. We just want to all-in, because we don't have to worry about Torb. We don't have to worry about Orisa Gold to just negate any push. But yeah, USC up 2-0. This isn't unfamiliar territory for the Trojans. We saw a 3-0 victory over I'm forgetting who, but 2 weeks ago we had a 3-0 victory, um, and so I really like it to see those results replicate this map for or this match for sure. Um, and also, we are going to Esperanza for our third map. So, once again, also unfamiliar territory for the Trojans. It seems like a very popular push map, all things considered. And looking for that high ground, both teams will definitely want to maintain control of the bridges as much as possible. So maybe we will see some dive here as well. Now, it seems like both teams are ready, so I'm going to toss it back to our casters. There you go.
All right, thanks, Jojo. Thank you for analyzing that last match. USC was able to take that pretty handedly. I do want to see Oklahoma come here or after this quick break and take it back here. Here we go on Esperanza and our push map. We'll see whether or not we hop in soon. But I do want to highlight USC was instead of pushing into that right side in order to aggress onto the high ground, they relied on their composition from. Sorry, they relied on their diva. They relied on the tracer in order to push up instead. Uh, potential differences coming in, but it's all about giving your DPS and your Ana the correct sight lines there.
Right, and I think that's the reason that Oklahoma was struggling so much was A, like Jojo mentioned, they were too slow to push out and take space, but also that they weren't really playing their comp to its fullest potential. USC had that Sojourn, absolutely destructive. You know, you have to be so careful of your sightlines because you never know when a charged rail shot is just going to go right through your skull. And they were playing for those longer sightlines, the main pads that they could push through the main paths that they could push through towards the middle instead of getting stuck in that side room where Oklahoma struggled so hard to push out of. And they never should have put themselves in that position in the first place where they could walk in, get stuck from both sides with Love on one side and the Diva on the other. And yeah, we do have this ban out of USC, I believe Oklahoma for Orisa, and
No more horse.
right, no horse, and I actually love the Orisa perks. I think she's so strong and I think she's really cool, so kind of wanted to see a little bit more of that, but looks like USC is going to be on a similar team comp while Oklahoma goes back to their comp from the first map. And yeah, really excited to see Love kind of taking control of the map and taking space. Again, if you work really well with these coordinated dives, you're going to be able to take that space, especially on high ground. Like Jojo mentioned, this high ground is going to be really important for both teams to be able to hold and also that they want to contest. Right, and it looks like this Lucio, it looks like Sweetbread is getting a little bit active, trying to see if he can get any pokes. Adele gets taken out really early by a clean headshot by Revan. Looks like this side engage was enough, but Elsie and Love are able to trade out so that USC is
Oh,
still even, but
oh.
Ace goes down, so USC has no supports right now as NCal is still alive, but it looks like they should be able to clean up because without a proper engage, Revan goes down by Love, and Fusi comes back from I'm not sure. I'm not sure. um, but he's back and he's gone now. After his backline kind of fell apart there with a great engage by Love and Karma. And USC is going to be taking the lead the first few dozen meters here, right here on map 3.
Yeah,
Ultimates online. No ultimates online just yet, but we're going to be ticking up. Ace getting 20% more ult charge. He's going to be building that beat much faster than Sweetbread. And yeah, Love gets taken out a little bit early again, but USC is still very stuck together as Fusi steals the bot, and they're going to meet him again. I don't know if Fusi has too many of his teammates on him right now, but yeah, they're all going to meet up, and USC is probably going to be looking for a disengage here, maybe a pick or two, building ult charge right here.
Yeah, this is the difference between the compositions, Fusi in on the Ramatra and Karma in on the Diva. Notably, they're able to have more. Oklahoma is able to have more point presence in with Fusi, but Karma is able to be more active and move around the map a little bit more faster for quicker rotations and faster engages. How that changes in their philosophies here.
Right, USC's all the way back, so that's form out from Fusi, and he's half health, so USC is going to take this as the sign to start engaging and looking for something that happens. LC pops the overclock, and there's so many red targets on his screen. Love manages to hit that pulse bomb, so both TPS ults are out, and they're going to be able to cut through. Jaiva brings out the blade to try and get a pick. He's able to get a Dell, but the rest of his team is already dead. There's not much more that he can really do. The Diva Bomb does come out so that she gets a nice little reset here, but Love is able to trade out Jaiva, and at this point, it's just Fusi left on point. USC is going to be pushing. Most likely, they'll make it all the way to the checkpoint and get that closer respawn. As they wait for Oklahoma to re-engage. A couple ultimates are coming online for Oklahoma side. USC doesn't really have anything too strong in response to the Annihilation or the beat. So they might be looking to take a more aggressive fight here, or they'll just be looking to poke it out. We'll see what they decide to do here.
Yeah, USC is kind of just able to sit on this lead, throw Karma in on point just to slow it just a little bit until he gets forced out. But they're able to sit on this high ground and just shoot down on Oklahoma, especially since their ultimates don't necessarily get, allow them to push up tiers. Ace takes out Sweetbird early on.
Right, and that's gonna be their beat. And with Fusi going really low with Annihilation, USC could actually push this through without any ultimates. This is a dry fight for USC. Fusi very, very low, and Oklahoma doesn't really have anything. That beat comes out, but right. So okay, so that beat comes out. So it's Oklahoma's 2 versus USC's none. So this is actually a really great fight for USC. They're still in the lead. They still have time to be able to retouch. If Ace is able to get out alive, which he is, they're going to be able to get a retouch before Oklahoma makes it to the checkpoint and come back stronger with their ults. Now they're going to have both their support ults by this time, while Oklahoma is only going to have Pulse and probably Rush to fight back. So USC is on pretty good time here for a nice engage before they get checkpoint.
Oh, early pick out onto Ace, but it looks like Fuzi's going to fall low. Addle with the Infinity Rush is doing so much damage here. So it looks like the Tracer's also going to be caught out. I do want to highlight though, one of the Tracer perks is that they're able to get all 3 of their blinks back after recalling, which is like, why? Like, keeping Tracer's uptime just that much more is absolutely insane.
Especially in the hands of a DPS like Love, who's able to kind of out-mechanic his way to use mechanics and get out of any situation. Giving him those extra 3 dashes is just disgusting. I mean, it's just not fair. This just can't be right. And Karma gets a little aggressive, seeing if he can get a pick onto NCal, but nothing really happens, and the rush comes out. So if UC is able to kite this appropriately and do a re-engage after this ult runs out, the beat comes out of UFC, so hopefully they can get a little aggressive. Karma able to remech after his Diva Bomb to reset. USC is still pushing the point, by the way. This whole fight is going off on bridge, as we've kind of flipped the map at this point. Oklahoma still kind of stuck behind as USC goes down. Ooh, LC gets taken out mid overclock without being able to find anything. Karma's getting a pick, but his backline has already fallen out, and he's going to be T-meching. Now, Love looking for something, maybe able to hide and survive, getting chased down by this Tracer Lucio combo. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this, and he staggers himself just a little bit. Not ideal, but USC is going to be taking the lead. Oklahoma does have the ult advantage. They're going to have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Maybe they'll build that beat in time. But USC doesn't really have anything right now besides that rush. So I'm wondering if they're going to try and do a very early, very aggressive push to do a most, if not semi-dry fight right here. And right, so they're moving in really, really aggressively, already pressuring out Fusi's form early on in the fight, and the entirety of Oklahoma is pushed all the way back. They didn't use any ultimates, but still, this is a really great fight win for USC. Recognizing that they're down in ultimates and that they need to play really aggressively to be able to win a fight, really to play really fast before they can use ults. And Oklahoma's going to come back with almost all 5 ults to USC's basically only one. Um, but they are in the lead, so they can't afford to lose like maybe one more fight before they need to really lock in.
Yeah, Enkel was picked off early on in that fight, and that was USC's go button. They were able to press the gas and get out Fuzi. B comes out, Karma with the Diva Bomb finds Fuzi there. Or Overclock popped Revan to find the answers, but it looks like Karma's just there eating it all. Finds the kill onto Elsie. It looks like they will win out in the end in this, but looks like UC's trying to draw out that fight. We do see the perk where that disruptor shot's just sticking in onto AC. Definitely doesn't enjoy it. 100 charge railgun misses it. Here we go, looking for more. He sees all these targets, but it doesn't look like they're good. Ace earns himself a beat, and he's pushing through forward into the Kitsune Rush. We'll see whether or not they're able to find the picks here. Love Hutal recall forced out, stuck, but it's saved there. LC does get a pick onto Jiva. Karma popping off there, finds 2, and it looks like Oklahoma's have to do a reset here.
Right, Fusi just taking so much of this poke damage, and Karma does get demeched, but again, it's just like the entire enemy team is dead. They're just gonna have to wait for him to remech. There's not much more they can do. It's not like Fusi can push into the entirety. LC gets an early pick onto Jaiva as they're trying to push out. USC at 125 meters. Overclock comes out. You can't peek this. You can't peek that. But they do, and they trade out. But again, USC almost getting their mech back. They're getting their mech back. And Cal's good for 2! Oh no! USC is going to be pushed all the way back into spawn as long as Carmen makes it out with his life. Not sure if Hu Tao will. He's just going to be taken out there. But yeah, just that double headshot out of NCal. Absolutely disgusting. She does way too much damage. But I mean, that's the benefit of a good flex support, right? USC finally almost matching, maybe not those ultimates. So I'm noticing that USC is almost always constantly down in ultimates. So I don't really know what is going on, but they're using them as they build them within the fight. They're able to draw out the fights long enough, able to build in time for when they need them, like we saw how that beat came out. Or a nice little rush out of Adele just to keep up his tank and to pressure out the enemy team. NCal gets taken out, Pulse misses, but the beat comes out from Sweetbread to keep them alive in this fight for a little bit longer. Revan pops the OC, not able to find anything, gets traded out. Elsie and Revan, sorry, both get traded out, and now we are in overtime with Fusi at 200 health with only a Lucio. I don't know if NCal has returned just yet, but Fusi goes back right up to health, and but Karma and Love get 2 picks. So he does have this Diva Bomb. He is going to be able to get a full reset, but it looks like he's not even going to need it. USC takes a clean 3-0 against Oklahoma here today in PC Week 6.
Yeah, very strong showing coming in from USC. Love WW just in the backlines as a tracer. It looked like that Oklahoma didn't have too much of an answer, but we do have this play coming in from NCal. His Kiriko just hitting so many headshots this year. Look at that clean 1-2 right there. Just doing so much poke damage, and that did slow USC just a little bit here.
Right, so a really fun game out of USC. I honestly think it was a mechanics game today. Sure, the positioning was really good, especially on that Blizzard world, and 2 of the maps on Busan. The positioning was really good, but I think that USC's mechanics were just simply better. The things that USC was able to do, we got some fat nades, every player doing a little bit more than they need to be doing, right? It's not just their job. And that's it for us today. We'll be taking us out to our analyst Jojo. My name was Ezzy, and this is Shinshin. We've been your casters today.
Thank you so much, Ezzy and Shinshin, for your wonderful casting this series. Yeah, this was a pretty easy, or not easy, definitely not easy. Oklahoma, you did an amazing job, but it did seem that USC was more in the driver's seat this match. One thing I had to note there was, yes, it was definitely a mechanics differential there, as he was saying. But I also think that Oklahoma's just struggled to touch points sometimes. They often found themselves super split when in the Ramatra comp you kind of want to play a little closer together. Uh, and that was something that really bit them in the back at the end of that map. But overall, great series, great job to our Trojans today. It looked like they are really able to bounce back. If I remember correctly, there's just one more week of PEC here. Next week, I believe we're going to go against Syracuse, and hopefully we're able to replicate the results from this match as well. I also want to shout out our opponents today, Oklahoma State, the Sooners. Thank you so much for putting all the effort into today's match. But also strong performances on your side as well. And I hope you guys or wish you guys the best of luck on the rest of your season if you're watching here. But for everybody else here watching at home, thanks for tuning in. That is the end of today's match. I know it is midterm season, so I'm glad, we're all glad that you're here watching this kind of as a study break. But good luck to your midterms, Trojans, and thanks for tuning in. Just want to shout out the rest of this week's schedule for tomorrow. JV Overwatch Cardinal is going to have their debut match against University of Hawaii at 7 p.m. here on this channel. You won't want to miss that. I might be playing. Just a spoiler warning. So hopefully I'm able to, play as well as I've been analyzing. We're also going to have Valorant on Friday versus Oklahoma for PEC, and then Valorant on Saturday in the CVAL tournament versus UC Irvine in the playoffs. So we have a packed schedule this week. Hopefully you guys are able to join us for the rest of our streams. And just a final one more time, thank you again for just taking your time and watching and supporting your own Trojans. My name is JoJo, signing off here and fighting on.